I'm going full armchair psychologist. Stockholm syndrome? Yeah. You don't have a clue. Excuse me. So, otherwise known as Xanax. That's a totally aggressive question. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you existing in this location? So I watched this video that the Queer Kiwi posted 1 day ago. It is the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Basically, this video is reacting to a TikTok where, so this straight girl gets invited to a lesbian bar by her lesbian friend and then goes to the bar with her straight male friend, bringing a friend of a friend. I don't know what the big deal is on that, but apparently it's a huge deal because you can't go to a lesbian bar if you're a straight guy. Federal crime. Yeah, apparently it really is that deep to these people. If you are a man and you go to a lesbian bar, which by the way, we don't want to go there, okay? If ever a straight guy is in a lesbian bar, he was brought there by his friend who is a girl, or his wife, his girlfriend, whatever, and he's there, you know, just to make sure the wife's happy, make sure the girlfriend's happy, something like that, you know? They're only going to appease their significant other.
Greetings, guys, gals, and non-binary.
Yes, bro!
Greetings, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to...
I love that intro so much. Greetings, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's got like that little Quavo Migos flow. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. Hubba hubba buppa. Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Bro, she's literally rap god, but she's gay. She's a gay rap god.
I am a little bit late to be making this video, but that happens all the time. I am always late, as I'm sure you all know by now.
Me when I'm late? Me when I don't arrive on time? Am I late? You guys know me. I'm always so tardy. Mondays, am I right? Anyway, we gotta skip ahead in this. Alright, so here's the TikTok that she's referencing. She's always laughing at her own jokes, bro.
Friday night, I went to my first lesbian bar. I was about to go home early, but then my friend who's a lesbian came over to the bar at the restaurant we were at and said...
Okay, so I already kind of told you the story, but I think it's funny. Women basically do what I do when they're telling stories, but instead of it, you know, how I talk over CSGO gameplay, they just do their makeup. Like, the makeup is their little Subway Surfer shit. It's their GTA driving footage juxtaposed to whatever clip is playing. They're doing their makeup as they're talking. So today, I was on a bus and there was a homeless guy and he smelled really bad. Anyway, it's like something like that, bro. Meanwhile, I'm talking over like Surf or something and I'm being like, so this fucking homeless guy was on my bus and he was just smelling like shit. And I said, get a life, get a home, stop being poor. People who say men and women aren't different, it's like, this is their CSGO footage, okay? This is their Subway Surfers gameplay, their ADHD brain stuff. They need the stimulation, so.
I'm gonna go to this bar, do you wanna come? And I was like, absolutely, why not? We got there and I was having so much, everyone was so nice. The music was all like Renee rap and I was living my best life until one of our guy friends wanted to meet up with us and he comes into the bar for quite literally 2 minutes. Literally wanted to come in, say hello and leave. Girl approaches him pretty soon after he walks in and goes, what are you doing here? To be honest, I was a little taken aback because as a straight woman in a gay bar and also a straight woman who goes to a male gay bar, I've never felt like that before or been approached like that.
So literally her straight male friend is with her at the bar and then this chick approaches the dude and she goes, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? That specific string of words. Like, you don't belong here. What the fuck are you doing here? This is a girls lesbian only space and you're in it, okay? We believe in segregation. Jim Crow, motherfucker. Get out of my bar. Go to your bar. I heard the water fountains are a little worse there. Yeah, we're separate but equal. It's literally segregation but based on sexuality, and then apparently we'll get into it, but the Queer Kiwi is supporting it and the girl in the story is also supporting it, so that's that.
The girl goes on to say, like, I've been coming to this bar for 10 years and blah blah blah. Basically, like, my friend,
in my 10 years of teaching, I've never had a class this disruptive. She's gonna pull something like that but replace the class being disruptive with a man existing. In my 10 years of being a gay girl at this bar, I've never seen a straight man here. Okay, grow up. Grow up. Always find it so funny when lesbians or gay guys are beefing with straights. We fucking made you. We own you, lil bro. We made you. You would be nothing without us, okay? We literally made you. Get owned. L ratio. I own you, lil bro.
Didn't belong there. Now I get it. It's a gay bar for women. But the amount of very obviously flamboyantly gay men that were in that bar that were not being approached and yelled at was wild. And I'm just curious, your thoughts on this, because I was like, I looked at her and I was nice until I wasn't. But the way she spoke to us, like, as a group, and I looked at her and I was like, he is with us, he's good. Like, she was not having it. She did not want him in that bar at all, and I get
So it's funny, right? She goes on to explain there's 3 types of non-lesbians at the lesbian bar, but only one type of them needs to leave, okay? The straight woman who's not a lesbian can stay. The gay man who's not a lesbian can stay, but the straight man who's not a lesbian needs to leave. Why? Why specifically that? Yeah, probably. If you're a straight guy and you go to a gay bar, I mean, obviously, you know, because they might be attracted to you, so they might treat you differently, but ultimately, it's like, they're not gonna have any beef with you, whereas if you're, you know, if you're a straight guy and you go to a lesbian bar, they're like, you need to leave. You can clearly see there's not only a double standard here, there's a triple standard, because there's 2 non-lesbians types of people at the gay bar, or there's 2 non-lesbian types of people at a lesbian bar who are allowed to stay, but the one of them that needs to leave, like, why specifically that type? Anyway.
it, but like, we had already been there for a while, and
So, yeah, what she's saying, by the way, is she's saying there's no rule saying a man can't go to a lesbian bar. And then she goes, not that I know of, which is to me so Jim Crow coded. It's like, yeah, you can't be here, sorry. Your kind can't be here. This is a space free of your kind.
he just literally came to say hello. But I'm just curious, like, are straight males not allowed to go to a lesbian bar? I'm genuinely curious. Like I said, this was my first time going to a legit lesbian bar. So please, like, enlighten me. I guess, like, he's probably never gonna go back there again because it really wasn't worth the drama. I just feel it was a little dramatic.
The entitlement that like drips off of this video.
So she's saying, this queer Kiwi is calling the girl who made the video entitled because she doesn't know that men aren't allowed to walk into a gay bar. The entitlement for this man to think he can walk into a fucking building while he's a man. He must not know, hello? Like, it's obviously a lesbian bar.
Honestly, it's quite impressive, the level of entitlement that exists in this video. It's absolutely absurd to me that she doesn't understand like the problem here and is confused by the confrontation that happened and the upset that it caused, because like,
This is so crazy. So literally the guy walks into the bar and he's with his friend, right? This woman friend. Presumably he's trying to like date this girl, right? So this straight girl gets invited to a lesbian bar and she comes to the lesbian bar with her guy friend. Maybe they're trying to date, I don't know, right? Guy goes along, which, you know, he probably didn't want to, if we're just keeping it a buck. You know, probably could have stayed at home and played some video games, could have played some Fortnite. I could have imagined that conversation was like, hey, so, you know, I got invited by Stacy to go to this lesbian bar and do you want to come? And he's like, yeah, sure, I can't wait. Oh, that'll be great. I'd love to. I'd love to go. You know, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'll go. He's, you know, either because he's trying to be a good friend or because he wants to, I don't know, raise up this girl or something, right? And so he goes, and then he's in the bar, and then a girl comes up to him, a lesbian girl comes up to him, who's in the bar and is like, why are you here? You're a man. Do you not know where you are? You are literally a man, and you're in a lesbian bar. I'm a totalitarian fascist, and you need to leave, okay? You will not replace us. You need to be deported. You can't, you're flooding the border, you're taking our jobs, and you need to be deported, okay? I'm having the lesbian border patrol come and escort you out of the bar as we speak. Cops are called, you're done. I know a lot of Mexicans, they're great Mexicans, but when Mexico sends their people, they're not sending their best.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best.
Yeah,
They're
ow.
not sending you.
Oh, my fucking
They're not-
funny bone. Oh, my arm's numb. My arm's numb. I actually can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm. I can't, oh, okay, it's back.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us.
And that's basically how Queer Kiwi is talking about men in lesbian bars. You're not sending women, you're not sending gay guys, you're sending your straight guys, and we don't like it. I so believe in this, like the horseshoe theory. When you go so far left, you eventually go back to being like conservative in some ways, you know? Because there's this question on the political compass test that makes you like authoritarian, which is like, I guess, presumably like conservative, right? And it's the question is like, all people have different cultures, but it's best that some people stick to their own kind, right? And I generally tend to agree with that question because I think that some cultures are incompatible, like feminism and like radical Islam is just like, how are those two gonna work together? Like, please tell me how that's gonna work. Or like Southern hunters who hunt for fucking fucking game and deer, how are those gonna be friends with furries? Like, please explain how that's gonna work, right? So I tend to agree with that, but that's not like the liberal position. The liberal position is like, we should all be friends and work together and whatever. And it's like, she's so far left that she actually adopts the authoritarian position again, which I think is interesting.
Even if we take sexuality out of the conversation, even if we removed that and we're just like, this is a woman's space, because, you know, she is a woman, so she should be able to understand that at least, right? You don't invite men into that space, because it is a sanctuary away from men.
Literally Jim Crow. That's like, our white schools are a sanctuary from the others. It's literally, it's the same. Oh, it's so funny to me, man. And also think about it like this, okay? She's calling it like a sanctuary, right? And you need to be a lesbian to be in a lesbian bar. It's a queer space, but like just straight women can go. You know those straight women, you know they like guys, right? The enemies, they're deep in enemy territory, just FYI. So, you know, that's a thought to keep in mind. Also, what do you do, okay? So I'm not, let's just say I can't enter the lesbian bar. Okay, fine. Okay, I can't enter. Border Patrol is strict. They'll deport me. They'll keep me in custody at the border or whatever. What about this, okay? I'm dying of dehydration, literally. I need water or I will die. I need a drink of water to replenish my body. I'm dehydrated. I'm thirsty. I need water. The only place I can go is the lesbian bar. I need to drink it or else I legit will just drop dead. Wouldn't the acceptant thing to do to show me compassion on a human level would be to offer me like that water? Hey, I'm dying of thirst. Do you guys have any water I could have? What? The entitlement. You're a man. Like, you, I need water.
And especially cis het men. Like, she mentioned that there were some like flamboyant gay men that were there, and like, why isn't that a problem?
The double standards, bro. Men can go to lesbian bars if they're fucking gay. Oh, duh. Why didn't I think of that? Because obviously, if they're straight, they might try to flirt with the lesbians, even though that's the most counterproductive thing possible because they don't even like men to begin with. If you're going into a lesbian bar as a guy trying to pick up girls, I sympathize with you because you're on the autism spectrum. You have no awareness of your surroundings, bro.
That isn't so much of a problem. Is one, if they were invited by like their sapphic friend, then they are allowed to be there, just as you as a straight woman are allowed to be there. They aren't going.
So if a gay guy gets invited by a lesbian to go to a lesbian bar, he's allowed to, but if a straight guy gets invited by a lesbian to go to a gay bar, he can't. How the f does that make any sense? She's making exceptions for non-lesbians of all sorts, except for this one particular type of non-lesbian to go to a lesbian bar.
Going and like hitting on women and making women uncomfortable. They are there.
Why would you assume that a straight guy at a lesbian bar is there to hit on lesbians? How does that make any sense? If a straight woman was at a gay bar, would you assume the same thing? She's just here to find more men. No, of course you wouldn't assume that, because you have a double standard, a gross one that's not really based in anything besides your own sort of like delirium, your own delusion, your own echo chamber that reinforces these very brain dead takes that you have.
With their sapphic friend, because they are both queer, they are in a queer space together and respecting.
So it's a queer space now, because before it was just a lesbian space, which is a specific type of queer. It's a specific sexuality, but now it's just queer. It's just not straight. How do we know that the guy that the girl was with wasn't asexual? How do you know that he even wanted to be around women in the first place? Because remember, it's not LGBT, it's LGBTQIA. Do you know what the A stands for? Asexual, not interested in sex. So many assumptions being made, all because this person hates men and just assumes the worst from them at all times. If she thinks a man is doing something that she doesn't like, it's always because men are evil. It's not because maybe she has a problem where she stereotypes men, or she has some sort of untapped into trauma, undiscussed trauma, childhood, early development, whatever. It's always because it's always the men. When in doubt, blame the man.
That they are a guest in that queer space. If they are gay men who are going into a lesbian bar unaccompanied, then no, they shouldn't be there. I will say that.
You just said it was a queer space, dumbass. You literally just said it's a queer space. It's open to the queers. Okay, hi, I'm queer. I'm very queer. Big old queer here. Rainbow RGB dildo back at my crib. Lights up. It's got liquid cooling. I play with it. I'm gay. Can I get a drink here because I'm queer? Oh, I can't? Well, what happened? You just said it was a queer space. Well, shucks. I guess I'm not allowed to be. This is homophobic.
Gay men going into a lesbian bar by themselves? That shouldn't happen. They shouldn't be there.
Deport them! Get out of my country! Literally, yeah, it's just so funny. It's just like, it's gay fascism. It's gay fascism. You're deported. Get out of my country. We need to build a wall. We need to build a big wall with a strong armed militia, border guards. If you see a straight person, shoot them on sight! She's gonna have a pride swastika, I think, is what's gonna be showcased next on this stream.
Regardless, you brought a man, a cis het man, into a safe space for queer women.
What do you think he's gonna do? Like, real shit, what do you think he's gonna do? Unzip his fly? Yo, wanna see something? I could play jump rope with this shit. What do you think he wants to do, bro? He doesn't want to be there anyway. His friend said, come with me to this lesbian bar. And bro was like, sorry, boys, I gotta get off. They're like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, bro. This girl, I'm really into her. She's straight, but her lesbian friend just invited her to a bar. I have to go, bro. I really want to raise her up. It's like, fuck you, but all right, I'll see you later, boys. And then he goes. And then you have these people like, we don't want you here. I don't want to be here. I want to be at home gaming.
Where queer women feel safe because...
By the way, super fucked up. Like, we're gonna address this, right? She's literally saying because men are in the same room as these people, they feel unsafe. That is fucking sexist. In the same way, if I was in a room with a bunch of black guys and I said, feeling a little unsafe here, feeling unsafe, not feeling too safe or comfortable here, you would say, yeah, that's fucking racist. If I go to my friend's house and then there's two black guys I haven't met yet and they're playing blackjack, obviously my friend invited them and I walk in, I'm like, yo, bro, are you being robbed? Yo, bro, are you getting fucking robbed, dude? Who the fuck are these people? They're like, no, bro, these are my boys. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, I'm just feeling a little unsafe. They're like, dude, you're fucking racist.
We don't have very many spaces, you know? There are not...
This notion, there's not that many spaces for queer... Nice freeze frame, by the way. There's not that many spaces for queer women. You guys remember when they threw up the fucking pride flag on the White House? Like, this is what America, you know, most influential nation on earth stands for. They put this shit in the middle of the American flag. So how exactly do you not have that many safe spaces if the most influential country in the entire world, the global hegemon, is putting your fucking flag on the building where the decisions are made? When we blow up countries, that decision was made in here, and your flag is on the fucking face of it. So the one that you have on your little stuffed animal is the same one they're putting on the most influential building in the history of the world. So
not many places where queer women feel welcome and accepted and safe. And so
it's the same Jim Crow talking points, by the way. It's safe for us to be in a room where it's just us. It's literally, I could do the same thing. I only feel safe in a room with white people. I only feel safe in a room with lesbian women. Like, what?
inviting a cis het man into one of those spaces is going to cause people to be a little bit on edge and a little bit uncomfortable.
What the fuck did we do? Walk in the room, guys? What the fuck? The audacity, bro. That kind of behavior just does not fly in the world. If you see a guy and then you're like, oh, dude, get this guy out. There's a wait. Is that a guy? Is that a guy?
Because a lot of cis het men really like to go into these queer women spaces and take it upon themselves to hit on women and make...
What? No, we don't! We want to stay home and we want to be running COD Zombies. We want to be playing Fortnite. We're not going to lesbian bars to pick up chicks. This is delusional. This person is... What kind of delirium is this shit, bro? No man does that. Not a single guy does that. Who the... Is there like... Is there any stats backing that up? I'm gonna just like... What percent of straight men go to lesbian bars to pick up girls? Not seeing anything. Excuse me. So literally nothing. You know, when you say shit like that, you should probably prove it. A lot of straight guys go to lesbian bars to pick up girls. No, we go to straight bars to pick up people who would want to be with us. What?
Make women uncomfortable, and it really ruins the entire thing for everyone that it was.
Saw a man, night ruined. Imagine you must be a fucking different kind of snowflake to see a guy in the same room as you and then go, night ruined. Why? Because I had an imaginary thought where he he flirted with me even though I'm a lesbian. I had some sort of a schizophrenic episode where I imagined this guy walking up to me and saying a nice thing to me, saying I look good because I'm a lesbian. I can't fucking even perceive of a reality where that happens. That would ruin my night. God forbid a woman is uncomfortable, bro. And how may you ask, is she uncomfortable? Oh, because you existed, bro. You've got to return to your Pokeball the moment you walk into a lesbian bar, okay? Your straight friend needs to be like, Pikachu, come back. And then you got to be put in the pocket for the entire night. You can't be out. You can't be seen. You're like a Nazi tattoo, bro. We got to hide you.
Like you say, I don't understand why she was upset. Like, there's not a rule that men can't be in there. Like, no, there isn't an official rule that men aren't allowed to go in, like straight men aren't allowed to go in. However, it's pretty heavily implied that cis het men aren't welcome in these spaces. Like, legally, you cannot deny them entry.
But under the queer Kiwi regime, that would be otherwise. We'd send the straights to something called concentration camps. And yeah, no, we wouldn't have them there. You know, legally we can't do anything about it, but in my ideal world, there would be a denial of entry to these people. They need to be dealt with. They need to be quarantined. Genuinely hide the straights. They can't exist, okay? Just keep them away from lesbians, you know. Their untainted lesbian innocence cannot be infected by the horrible plight of the straight man. You know, it just can't happen, so.
But it seems like a pretty obvious conclusion to draw to not bring those people into these spaces.
By the way, this person, I'm not even joking, I know everyone here is like assuming, okay, she's a lesbian, right? Because she's the queer Kiwi. She literally has a fucking boyfriend. So if she were to go out to a lesbian bar and her boyfriend was like, hey, can I come with you? You know, I was surprised. She'd be like, no, you can't. I'm your boyfriend. Can I go? No. What? Hello? Like, it's delusional.
And to make it even worse, this lesbian bar is one of only 3 in the entirety of New York.
That's okay. I can tell you right now that is not true. How many lesbian bars are in New York? So there's 3 bars in New York. Oh wow. Okay, actually. Okay. Hey. Maybe she. Oh wait, no. This says 7 best lesbian bars in New York City. I was gonna say there's only 3, and she was right because the Google search said 3. But I click an article and this says there's 7. I found 7. So all right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's more of a restaurant than a bar. It's lesbian owned, lesbian paraphernalia. So this is already not true. There's not 3 lesbian bars, bro. There's 7. I found 7, bro. So this is already not true. Get owned.
And it has a capacity of 75. Only 75 people can go in there. And you took up one of those space with a cis het male friend to come say hi, which is
okay. Was it full? Who's to even say this bar was even full, bro? If it wasn't taken up by anyone, then he didn't take a slot. This is literally the logic of like a Mexican enters the country and gets a job as a plumber, right? Or whatever. Okay, let's just say he gets a job as a plumber. And then like queer Kiwi is like, well, you took the white person's plumber job. It's like, well, no, there was no person who had that job. This person just had it. They just got the job. This person didn't replace a white person's job. They just got a job of their own, you know? When someone gets employed, that doesn't mean someone else gets fired. Meaning like when a straight cis man enters a lesbian bar, that doesn't mean someone else gets kicked out or that space was taken up that was meant there for lesbians or something. Let's say there's 40 people in a bar and the capacity is 75 people. They need more people coming in. And also, the straight guy's probably gonna do more business there. Guys drink more alcohol to get drunk, so they're probably gonna be a more lucrative patron. So in a weird way, he's gonna be supporting the queer spaces more than the actual lesbians are.
And to come say hi, which is bullshit because he had to wait in line to get in there. I know there was a fucking line to get in there. He had to
No, you don't! No, you don't! You made that up! I know for a fact there was a... No, you don't! Literally delusional. I know there was a line to get in. How? Please tell me how. Please tell me how.
Wait in line to get in there. There's no way he just went in to say hi.
How is that? How is there no way that there's not a line for the bar? How do we know that? Bars do not always have lines. Maybe it's like a fucking Tuesday or a Monday. Umbra with the 20, let's go. Bro, do you guys want me to dance like a fucking monkey or something? Like, what do you want me to do? There's no proof or evidence that he started a fight or anything. Like, what? You're just making shit up. Literally assuming the worst case scenario for no reason other than to like fucking push this anti-men propaganda because you're a psycho.
That didn't happen. And I also would like to add in the part where she's like, I as a straight woman go to male gay bars all the time. Why isn't that a problem? Why am I allowed there when I don't think
So that's a double standard. How does she explain it?
Straight women should be going to gay bars either.
Why? Who the fuck fuck cares? Who cares? It's not that deep.
Like,
Oh my god. Blood's never heard of a good ratio. Blood's never heard of a 50-50.
just because you are more accepted there than like straight men are at lesbian bars doesn't mean you should be there.
So, but why are they more accepted there? Could it be that your style of thinking, of assuming that men are just there to flirt with lesbians, that delusion is mainstream in the lesbian community? I don't know. Look, you're like a chief member there. You should probably contact the lower ups and the higher ups and see what's good, because that seems to be the prevailing narrative.
I don't think you should be going into those spaces either. Straight people, you have all of the bars. All of the bars are your bars. Can you leave ours alone to us?
Bro, we want to, okay? But if there's a baddie and she's like, hey, come to this lesbian bar with me, I'm gonna have to go, bro. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you don't hate the player, hate the game. If I'm with the baddie, she's like, my lesbian friend invited me to this lesbian bar. And I'm like, and she's like, you wanna come with? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'd love to. And it's like, I don't want to. Dude, trust me. We'll make an armistice. We'll make a treaty. I don't want to go to your bars. I don't. I really don't. But look, man, if I have to, I have to. It's called a compromise. And think before you sleep is in chat. My ears hurt now. I'm sorry, bro. It's a high energy stream. I'm kind of hyped up. It's that stock coffee. Does anyone know what that is? Is that even how you say it? Dude, if you want a live stream, pour up a cup of this and then go live, you'll be fucking flying. And I quit Monster. I don't want to like lose my fucking before age 30. Because you know how diabetic people, like, their feet need to be amputated? I feel like Monster's gonna do that to my like, they'll be like, your does not work, no banners, too much Monster. What does it mean, doc? It's gotta go. And they're like, for an extra, we'll give you $100 if we can keep it in a medical safe. So if a transgender comes in, we can give it to them. I'm like, all right, I guess I get it's $100. Just do pour over coffee. Healthiest way to drink coffee. What even is that? I'm not familiar with your game, young man. Pour over. Is that the one with like the coffee filter? Oh yeah, it's with the coffee filter. Yeah, I can't. That's too much work. So you pour water over coffee? Maybe. Perhaps I'll look into it.
Please. The amount of straight women that go into gay bars to feel safe away from straight men is quite astounding. There's quite a lot of them who do that and then will get like upset when they are hit on by queer women. And even if that's not you, even if you just go to a gay bar just to feel safe.
I don't even understand. Is she speaking from experience? Because she's dating a guy, or was. I swear to, I'll have to find the clip, but literally she, in one of her videos, said like my boyfriend or something, and it blew my mind. I almost died or something. I had a stroke. Are you even really, seems like such like a Among Us imposter. Like I guess she's queer or whatever, and I guess you can date a guy and still be gay. I don't know. But like, look at her whole aesthetic. It's this whole fucking like, it's a gay aesthetic. I mean, you know, and she parades herself as this leader of the gay community. She knows what's up. She knows the ins and outs, you know, and now, but she's dating a guy and you're gonna act like you're the expert. Like, I don't know about that. She's a straight boyfriend who must want to kill himself, genuinely. It's like a grift. I don't even know, man. But if you're dating a straight boyfriend, like, that's gotta be some weird, what's that called? Stockholm syndrome? Yeah. The psychological condition of a victim who identifies and empathizes with their captor or abuser. So according to her worldview, basically straight men are the perpetuators or perpetrators of like all the bad things in society, but she still dates them. Oh, that's definitely some Stockholm syndrome. Is that like a real diagnosable thing? Because she definitely has it, bro. 100%. I'm going full armchair psychologist.
Safer away from straight men. Now straight men have like caught on to that and know that straight women go there to escape being hit on by straight.
No, what the f? Dude, this is so delusional. So she thinks that straight guys go to gay bars to see straight women because straight women are going to gay guy bars to get away from straight guys. Literally delusional. Straight up actual delusion. No, we're not. The risk reward on that, by the way, is so fucking low. High risk, low reward. The risk is I go to a gay bar and literally like I wake up and my butthole hurts. And the reward is like, maybe I get a straight girl. That's the risk reward. It's not a good trade-off, okay? I'm literally risking everything if I go there. And you think I'm gonna find like a chick there? Okay.
And so now,
that ain't a risk. You're gay. We found him, boys.
Gay bars are overrun by straight people.
No, they're not. What?
Just are privileged enough to be able to take up all of the spaces. Please just leave us something. All of the bars, all of the clubs, they belong to you already. Why do you need to come and take our stuff off of us? You have
These Mexicans, they're taking our jobs. Why are straight people taking all the gay jobs? It's literally the same, it's the same shit, bro. So far left that you're actually a fascist. It's literally, it's so funny. Think before you sleep. No straight man is going to a gay bar. Those guys are in the closet. Yeah, this method that she described is just not happening, okay? Like, let me just put it like this, okay? If my boy said, bro, I went to a gay bar last night, full stop, you're gay, right? But he goes on, that sounds like he's trying to like defend himself. No, I was only going there for the chicks, bro. I was going there because the straight girls go there because they don't want to see me. Bro, you're done. No, we found you, bro.
have all of them. And if you feel unsafe there and it's like not enjoyable, I'm really sorry. Like that sucks, but that doesn't really give you the right to come into our safe spaces and make our safe spaces feel unsafe. I just really don't understand how like you as a woman have come into like this safe woman's space and felt the need to invite a man into it when you are already the guest in this space.
God forbid.
Like you have been invited here by your queer friend to come into this space with her, and then you took it upon yourself to invite someone else. Like you can't do that. You as a guest cannot invite another guest. That's not how being a guest works. This is not your space to invite someone into.
What? It's a fuck public space. It's a bar. Open to everyone. You can't invite someone else. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'll go where I want. I'll drink where I want. I'll take a shit wherever I want. You're not the fucking boss of me. Well, you can't invite another friend. Dude, it's a bar.
Also the fact that in this video she has made, she was not telling the whole truth. And she manipulated
This idea that she's again made this up, that the bar's at full capacity, right? It's 74 out of 75 and the last slot was given to the straight cisgender man. Like, no. And she also makes more shit up. She's like, I know there was a long line and this guy was in front of a lot of lesbians who wanted to go into their safe space, but were cut off by this guy. No, you don't know that. Yes, you made that up in your head. Yes, you should see a doctor. And yes, you need to be prescribed an antipsychotic medication. Are you familiar with alazapram, otherwise known as Xanax? Take one of those, you'll chill the fuck out. Like they're looking at scanning for enemies, night vision goggles. That's what you're doing. Safe space or echo chamber. Great. I love that. That's almost like, that's beautiful. I'm gonna start using that because like that's genius, bro.
facts to go in her favor. And the girl who came and confronted them and asked why this man was in there has made a response video to this to explain what actually happened, which I will show you now.
What are you doing here? To be honest, I was a little taken aback because as a straight woman.
So that video is
Anybody? How do we bet? We got what was it? Okay, we got dyed hair. I mean, look, she looks pretty normal for being honest.
actually about me. I'm that lesbian, so I just wanted to provide some context on what happened from my perspective. So I was at Cubbyhole, been going to this bar for 8 years since I moved to New York. I actually met my wife there. I was waiting in the bathroom line, minding my own business, and there was a dude standing in front of the bathroom. I tapped him on his shoulder. Excuse me, you know, you're kind of in the way, whatever. I was not trying to start conflict, anything like that.
So this guy's online for the bathroom, and then she's like, you're in the way. He's not in the way, he's in line.
Turns around, he seemed a little bit grumpy.
Yeah, because he has to piss, and he's at a lesbian bar. Of course he's fucking unhappy.
So I was like, okay, dude, are you even here with anyone? Like, what?
So he didn't, so by the way, she's like, you're in the way. Turns around, and then she's like, whoa, are you here with someone? What are you doing in this bar, is what she says to him. What are you doing in this bar? Your kind isn't welcome here. Bro, so this video is supposed to make her look good too, and she just looks a lot worse.
Points to his friend, a girl who seems pretty queer to me.
It's okay when they say it though. You're fucking gay! No, banned, but they can do it. She seemed kind of queer. She had like that queer vibe, you know? I can kind of just ride that queer wave.
Not the girl who made that other video. And she's like, he's with me. I'm like, okay, cool. I turn around, continue to wait in line, really had to pee. And
so did bro.
This guy comes to me and he goes, well, if I wasn't here with someone, would that be a problem? And I say, absolutely. Like, yes, it would be.
Because he's a guy.
A problem. This guy, the girl in that video, some other girls, they all jump at me and they're like, what? Like, why would you say that? That's so messed up, blah, blah, blah. These people start coming at me. And I'm just in the bathroom. I'm there celebrating a friend's birthday. I want literally nothing to do with straight people, which is why I'm in cubbyhole in the first place.
It's hilarious. I want nothing to do with straight people. By the way, we made you, bro. I'm so sick of this shit, bro. I want my little queer utopia. Okay. You're gonna have an underpopulation problem with that pretty soon. If we all go away, you'll go away with us, so enjoy that. Can't help you with that.
Hey, okay, this is a queer bar. We don't have a lot of spaces. I've been coming to this bar for a long time. It's a special place for me. It's also a safe place for me. And I have seen a lot of cis straight guys come into this bar and cause problems. Like,
Really?
it's a known thing.
It's a no. Okay.
It happens at Cubbyhole. It happens at Henrietta's. It happens at Stonewall. There are straight dudes that come into these bars specifically because they're trying to pick up girls. So
Is that Rizzy?
I wasn't trying to instigate anything. I was just trying to like, hey, safety check, you know?
Safety check, of course. I am always doing safety checks, constantly. When I see a guy and I'm a lesbian and I see a guy, I'm like, a safety check.
They got on my face. I just wanted to pee, so I was just like, all right, I'm going to the bathroom. I go in there and I just tried to de-escalate. I go back to my friend. There's more stuff that happens, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. I do think that if you're going into a queer space, you should be respectful of that, and you should keep in mind.
Dude, so how you started the beef? You're like, what are you doing here? So what did he do that was disrespectful? Use the bathroom? Let a brother piss. All right. So sorry. We have to piss. I am so look. If I could never piss for the rest of my life, I would save probably weeks of time. All right. I have to drain the snake. All right. Gotta unload the clip. I can't not do that. All right.
That there are very limited spaces, especially for lesbians and queer women, where we can feel safe, where we can go. And there's literally the Lesbian Bar Project, if you've not heard of it.
So, okay, so you don't feel safe in general or whatever, and now you're in a bar where there's one fucking guy who's there to be with a straight girl, not to rizz up your fucking friends or whatever, and that's a big issue for you? I'm sorry that the very sight of a guy is is some sort of a weird Pavlovian's dog signal to you, where you start having a glitch in error 404, like the website of your brain just got DDoSed and you're down, But ultimately, no one's here to raid your safe space, to bring heterosexuality to your bar and whatever, and rizz you up, okay? Dude didn't want to be there. He's there with this girl he's probably interested in, minding his own business. You start beef with him. You go, what are you doing here? That's aggressive. You're coming at him with aggression. And he goes, I'm here with this girl. And if I wasn't, would that be a problem? Responding with an equal amount of aggression. So what's the problem here?
About it, go look into it, because there are so few spaces. And honestly, I'm not going to apologize for protecting them. Yeah, I just get heated, but that's pretty much it.
You didn't protect shit. You literally asked a man what he was doing in a bar that you don't own. It's public fucking space. And now you're like, I have to protect this place. Like you're Kyle Rittenhousing the lesbian bar. They're in my neighborhood. Self-defense. They were straight.
I'm Katie, and I'm that lesbian, and sorry, but actually not sorry.
So she didn't even really confront him.
Yes, she did! She said, what are you doing here? That's confrontational. Why are you here? Why are you in my country? Why are you in my bar?
She just saw this man there and was like, hey, why are you here? Are you with someone? Did someone invite you? And then he responded aggressively.
Yeah, because the question was aggressive, obviously. Why are you here? Who are you with? That's confrontational. You're literally questioning someone's existence, or not their existence, but like, well, yeah, kind of like, why are you here? Why are you existing in this location? You know, that's a pretty fucking confrontational question. And so he responds, he's like, I have friends here, and if I didn't, would that be an issue? Do you have beef with me? That's confrontational. Obviously, he's gonna respond with the same level of aggression.
He responded with, oh, am I not allowed to be without someone? Would that be a problem then? Like, yes. Like, yes, it would be, actually. Like, what are you doing here? Because of this, there were a few people who called her out, like, why did you assume he was a cis man? Like, how did you know he was a cis straight man? And
that'll be fun. I can't wait for this, because by their own worldview, right, you can't assume people's like identity and stuff. So why did this person assume that this was a straight man? He could have been a gay man. He could have been gender fluid or something. Non-binary. Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals, the ones that you shout out in your fucking intro.
how did you know he was a cis straight man in the first place? And I
He just game ended, bro.
think that, like, that's a slightly, like, unreasonable question to ask, right? Like, I understand that trans men are allowed in, like, lesbian spaces and, like, queer women spaces because, you know, they also suffer from a lot of gender
Men?
discrimination and might not feel safe in other spaces. And that's totally chill. I respect that. I understand that. But I still think that asking a man that you see in that space, like, why are you here, is completely valid.
It's confrontational. You're fucking starting beef. You can say it's valid, but like ultimately that's a totally aggressive question. Because you see someone who's a guy and you go up to them and you're like, why the fuck are you here? That is aggressive. That's pretty aggressive. If I was at a birthday party, my friend invited me, it's not even my birthday party, it's my boys, and then someone's there that I don't like and I go up to them, I'm like, why are you here? That's pretty aggressive. Okay, I'm kind of asking for a fight. I don't know how many social situations you've been in or what the deal is, but yeah, that's kind of like that is a pretty aggressive question.
And I think that trans men who understand why women may feel afraid and uncomfortable with a man there would understand that and be sympathetic to that and not respond with aggression. So I feel like just responding with aggression kind of solidifies the fact that this is a cishet man. Like
he was grumpy, so obviously he's cis. Also, like unreal because like you were aggressive to him and he responded with aggression. Oh, because he was responding with the same tone that I used against him, he must be cisgender. How does that make any sense?
The arrogance and the aggression in that response really solidifies that this is not his space, but he feels like he deserves to be in it. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm sure that
I don't know what you mean.
if you approached a trans man and asked that, they would respond in a much gentler way. Either, you know, saying that they are trans because they're in a space where it is like safe to say that, or by just being like, hey, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm with those people over there. Please don't mind me. It's not going to be an aggressive response. And I also imagine that a lot of trans men would feel like quite, you know, elated almost that they pass well enough to be mistaken for a cis man in a lesbian bar. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know what you mean. And also, that's definitely not... You literally just said men are not welcome here. So why would a girl who transitioned to be a guy, after being aggressively confronted, like, why are you here? Why would they be like, oh, you really don't like me that much? I must be a man.
They're not going to respond with aggression. And I think that really answers the question, and think that that makes it unfair that people are being like, well, how did you know? Why did you assume? Like, she didn't. She just asked a man why he was there, and he responded aggressively, so...
No, it wasn't just a like, hey, how are you? So what brings you here? It was, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Totally dishonest.
Kind of answered the question for itself. And then I find it so funny, the contradiction here of like, the girl in the original video said that he was coming in to say hi and then leave, which we already knew was bullshit because he waited in line to get into this bar and steals a queer woman's spot in this very small bar. But anyway, she came out and saw him at a table chatting with these two women. So that doesn't really seem like coming and saying hi and then leaving. That seems like coming in for a drink and hanging out there.
Oh no, he's doing business with the establishment? This guy ordered a drink at a bar? It's not like that's what they're there for. It's not like that's why they exist and have business. Oh my god, why would he do that? Also, like I said earlier, him doing business there should be good for you, okay? Guys drink more, they take more drinks to get fucked up, and so therefore that money's going back to the lesbians that you love so much, so, you know, that you should be thanking us for that. Or not us, but, you know.
Continuing to take that space.
Very one-sided beef.
And also, probably making a lot of the queer women around feel a little bit uncomfortable, you know? Like, you've come into our space and feel like you deserve to be there. And then on top of that, this straight woman insults her and calls her a purely for just asking.
Bro, it's not asking. Chat, is this just like a harmless question? Please tell me this is, because by her logic, this would be a simple harmless question. Why are you black? Like, that's not a harmless question, bro! That's not just asking a question!
Which is a completely valid thing to say. It's a completely valid thing to ask. Regardless of whether a cishet man is invited in by a queer friend or not, doesn't really matter. I don't think he should be there, and I think that queer women shouldn't be inviting their cishet male friends into these spaces. I just don't think that that's a cool thing to do. It's just not on. And like she says, she's seen a lot of problems started and like caused because of this happening. Because yeah, you know, cishet men have a feeling of entitlement. They, a lot of the time, straight men in these spaces will go and try to hit on queer women because one, they know like bisexual, pansexual, etc. women exist, and two,
oh my god. Wait, so is that even a problem then? What? A straight guy flirts with a woman who might be attracted to men too? That's bad now? Yeah, cishet is our word. You can say cissa. You can't say cishet though. That's our word, okay?
they like to think they can like turn women. So they go and they make women uncomfortable. They don't leave women alone and they start fights and they ruin this safe space for people. And there are a lot of queer women who no longer go to these places because they have been made to feel unsafe by people who shouldn't be there being in there. And it's just really, really sad. You know, it's meant to be a place for community and for safety. And then some people just feel like they are entitled to that space and take it away when they literally have all the other spaces.
Hey, watch your attitude.
As a straight person, you can go literally anywhere.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere. You can go to any bar.
Bro, oh my
Especially as a cishet man. You can go to any bar and feel safe. And yet, you stood in that line surrounded by
what
queer,
line? What line?
non-cis-
What line? She's pretending she was there and she saw a long line and the guy was in front and the women were in the back. FYI, this person lives in New Zealand, not in New York, okay? You were not there. You have no idea if there was a line. You have no idea if it was max capacity and there was a guy in there. Meanwhile, there's some fucking lesbian girl outside shivering in the cold and the guy's in there and she's not. You don't have a clue. You have a schizophrenic disorder that makes you believe in things that you have no evidence for at all.
right? You stood in that line around all those people and waited to get in, and you never once thought, like, maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe these people behind me deserve to go into this bar.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up. On Jase Onfroy, you can't make this up.
More than I do. That didn't even cross his mind. He just was like, yeah, no, this seems right. I should go here. This makes sense. How do you think that that's an appropriate thing to do? It's just wild to me. The lack of sort of like understanding and compassion, like the complete—
Bro, are you fucking kidding me? The lack of understanding and compassion because this guy was questioned for existing in a building? The lack of compassion for the straight woman for bringing her straight male friend. Yeah, the lack of compassion for the 99% gay people in there. Not the lack of compassion for the guy who was questioned to and literally harassed for just existing in this bar. Yeah, no, let's talk about the compassion for everybody else.
disregard for why these spaces are important. It's so funny to me because she, as a straight woman, felt entitled enough in this space to be able to invite her cishet male friend into this women-only space. And then kind of under the guise of like, he's my friend, so like, you know, he's not gonna hurt anyone or make anyone uncomfortable because he's my friend and I personally know him and know that he's a good person. When firstly, he went in and pretty much immediately started a fight with someone.
He didn't start a fight! Bro was just trying to take a piss. Can't even piss anymore, man. Oh my god.
And then you, like, took his side in that fight. So you also were, you know, not respecting the space you were in, not just by inviting a man into it, but by not understanding why someone was upset about it. Like, you were a guest in this space and you violated like every rule.
Yeah, rule 1, don't be a man. You violated the don't be a man. Rule 1, don't be a man. Rule 2, don't be straight. Rule 3, that's basically, those are the 2 rules, okay? When she says violated the rules, she's not talking about anything like real. She's just saying like, yeah, you're a man and I just don't like that. So don't be a man. Please don't be a man, because if you're a man, honestly, you know, just get the fuck out, go home, take a subway home and fucking just live your miserable male life away from my queer bar and I never want to see you again. Basically what she's saying.
And the fact that you came onto TikTok and were like, I don't get it. Can you tell me why it's bad to bring a cishet man into a lesbian bar? Like, Why do you need to ask why that's bad? The girl in the original video said that he was coming in to say hi and then leave, which we already knew was bull.
This is so fucking crazy, bro. It's not a good idea because they are gonna start beef with him. You should know better. You should know to not go there. That's literally, this is victim blaming. This is like blaming a black guy for stopping to take like a piss in like a racist 7-Eleven or something. Well, he should have known not to take a piss around here. What did you think was gonna happen? We don't like your kind here. Same exact mentality. He should have just known that the lesbians were gonna hate him. I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna assume that the entire community whose slogan and principles are off the backs of inclusivity and acceptance would just happen to be the exact fucking opposite. Please tell me why that makes any sense at all. All right.
And like, I'm sure more people would confront you about it if they weren't afraid of confrontation with a cishet man, you know? Like, I'm sure more people were looking at you, people probably were leaving. People just did.
She's making more shit up. Oh, apparently people were leaving the bar now because a guy was there. Proof? Do you have any proof of that, or did you just make it up? Did you just invent a lesbian in your head that was in the bar and then waltzed out? People were probably leaving. They were probably freaking out and calling the police and calling their Ubers. The moment a guy walked in the bar, you know, my imagination tells me that one girl in particular went to the bathroom and started crying. This is cisphobia.
Didn't feel comfortable now that you'd brought this person in there. And like, they just didn't tell you because it's not worth getting in a fight, which is obviously what would happen when someone asks. And it's so frustrating that these people can just like overlook.
These people? These people? You want to play that game? What do you mean when you say these people? Are you talking about men? I don't like when me and my boys are put in a box by some queer YouTuber and we're told what we can and can't do. I don't like that. Don't tread on me, motherfucker.
And then because it obviously didn't go in her favor, she's just ignored it. But she's kept the video up because I'm assuming she's on the creator fund and is probably getting money.
What? So she's not deleting the video where she's getting loads of hate vibes and hate comments because she's making money off TikTok? Oh yeah, dude, it's worth it to get harassed to fuck by the tolerance and the rainbow mafia because I made 2 cents off TikTok. Literally a conspiracy theory. Oh yeah, she's probably in the creator fund and is making money off the hate. What the fuck are you talking about? Literally assuming that this person is keeping this video up where they're getting so many hate comments because they're making money off of it.
From this video that has over 1.5 million views, which is something else entirely.
5 cents, a fat fucking nickel.
Honestly, I feel like that adds a whole new layer to the whole thing.
What, that I got views?
Yeah, this video has been a bit of a mess. I had notes and then I just got kind of sidetracked and went all over the place. My brain is fried today.
Oh, really? Wow, really? You sounded so professional and so coherent this entire video. You're like, this is just so cogent, not coherent, not cohesive, I should say. Yeah, you just sounded so put together. Just your brain's fried. What? Really? Your brain wasn't working this video? Coherent, that was the word, sorry. Oh, your brain, oh, I didn't know your brain was fried, bro. You sounded great. This is like your boy with bloodshot eyes. Hey, do I look high? It's like, no, you look fine. Holy fuck, he's faded. No, dude, you look great. Go talk to that cop. Go play rock, paper, scissors with that cops.
Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this whole thing.
I think that we should keep, spaces for queer people to being for queer people, especially when it comes to gender minorities. I think that we need...
Aren't women more... women are not a minority, though. Aren't there more women than men? Isn't it like 51-49? Is this woman on a Percocet? It's all spelled wrong.
Non-binary people and women, we need safe spaces, and we need straight people to stop taking them away from us. Yeah.
They're taking our jobs! They're taking our jobs! Have you seen that South Park thing? South Park, they're taking our jobs.
Of course, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.
A massive...
All right, yeah, no, thanks. Anyway, that was that. What a horrible video.